I just want to ask the pro-motion. Now, they're saying that majority of Muslims in Malaysia in support of 355. Please provide figures.
One question.
Do you believe in you say you believe in our federal constitution, right? So you believe that I, as a Malay, have a choice to be protected under our federal constitution. Now, you also have the right to enjoy whatever you believe, because I don't believe you're Islam, okay? I have my own version of Islam in which I believe is much more compassionate, much more loving than what you are trying to portray to the world. But that's okay. So do you agree that if we, the Malays like me, who do not agree with your version of Islam, should we be allowed to leave you to choose your version of Islam, but not to pull us in together with you? Okay? But finally, I want just to make a statement. All this while, I have always known the local students, the law students that study locally, they do have a problem in interpreting our federal constitution. And why is this? When this is, I now it's proven to me. It's proven that they cannot see what the opposition are trying to put, saying. I mean, Ambika is simply asking, why are you not actually giving the exact punishment for every offences? You say leave it to the politician. Okay. What if we have a mad politician, who say, oh, punish her for 100 lashes for not wearing tudung?
Okay,
is that justified?
Point taken.
Actually, I would like to read straight away the paragraph from a judgment by Justice Hamid Sultan.
Ladies and gentlemen, please quieten down.
In the case of Indira Gandhi, which is directly in point. Because if we all accept the federal constitution as the supreme law of the federation, we should accept what is being said in this paragraph. The state laws relating to the religion applies to all Muslims. So whether it applies to Siti Kasim, it depends on her, whether she is a Muslim or she is not. Yeah. Whether born Muslims or converts, once a person is born and bred as a Muslim or becomes lawfully as a convert, he is expected to respect the sanctity of the religion. The law here, as well as the Rukun Negara, does not allow a Muslim to hide behind constitutional provision to say he has freedom to choose the religion. However, constitutional framework and Rukun Negara will assist all Muslims if the state laws are unconstitutional and or impinges on the rights of the Muslim or creates hardship to a Muslim when a Muslim's Sharia personal law, as advocated by the Sunni sect, namely Hanafi, Shafi'i, Hanbali or Maliki, does not require the Muslim to go through such hardship. State laws for Muslims which does not conform to the Sunni sect can always be challenged, and it is provided for in all state Sharia legislation. So what it is said here is that first, once you are Muslim, it does not say that you do not have right. You do have right, but you cannot hide behind the constitutional provision to say that I am not bound by certain Sharia law. You cannot hide behind that. But when you are charged under certain sections of the Sharia provision, you have right to defend yourself in the Sharia court. The problem that we have today, as I have mentioned before, is the fear-mongering. The perception as if Sharia court is so bad, it will not give a just decision. The perception. Whereas if you would just go to the Sharia court and fight for your right there, you will get your right.
Okay.
The problem with Lina Joy, because my learned friend mentioned about Lina Joy, the problem with her is not that she does not have the right to choose her religion, but rather is the arrogance, because she does not want to have the declaration to be heard in the Sharia court. She wants to straight away to go to the civil court. Whereas...
Please respect the speaker.
Whereas it is clear that any matters falling under the jurisprudence of the Islamic law falls under the power of the Sharia court. Conclusion. Just Google a certain verse or the hadith and then come to a conclusion. This is absolute arrogance from us to say that anybody can just define this. There are a lot of scholarship involved in matters of Islamic jurisprudence. Before a scholar and ulama can come to a conclusion, they have to discuss the isnad. which is the chain of the narrative of the hadith, coming from the time of the Prophet to the time of the Sahaba to the time of the Tabi'in, down to our time. They have to discuss on this. And then on the personality of each of those people who set the chain, whether they are credible or not. That is just one aspect of it. And then you have to discuss the context that was understood by the Sahabah during that time. And then what were the consensus of the scholars of the later years? And if there are disputes, why? So all these things we have to take into account. It is not just by reading, but by Googling something and then we find one verse from the Hadith or the Quran and then we try to argue it our way.
Okay. Then.
I have to continue. I'm sorry, because this is very important. My learned friend, Haris Ibrahim, mentioned about Imam Shafi'i just now. Imam Shafi'i, he's a great scholar. In fact, generally, his jurisprudence is applied in Malaysia. He spent 1/3 of his wealth to study the language, the deep understanding of Arabic. 1/3 of his wealth. And 2/3 to study the hadith. And yet, he lamented that he wished he could have spent that 2/3 on the Arabic language. The importance of understanding syntax, deep grammar understanding of the Arabic before you can even have the right of say of this is right, this is wrong.